It is time for my yearly service of my PRO-GRID D.E filter. And right off the bat, an initial inspection, I noticed that this piece was going, the pressure gauge, right, last year. And it started clouding up anyway, so it really wasn't any good to me from a distance. But it finally died. And also a seal here started to go. We can see it started leaking water. Again, there's so little maintenance problems I have with this unit that I'm not broken up about it. You will notice that there are arrows here, and it does say lock. This whole piece is removable as a single unit. And again, it's older, it's on top, the sun beats down on it. I'm going to replace what needs replacing on this. And if it becomes cheaper, if several parts need replacing like this and that and a seal and whatever, and I just can replace the whole unit on the cheap, I may just elect to replace that whole top component. And we're going to start this project like we start every project around the pool. That's by shutting off mains power, because none of this is worth dying over, I assure you. On a much happier note, we're going to relieve the internal pressure. I'm just going to take this whole piece off because I need that extra room for the tool that I'm going to use to remove this. So we're just going to let that depressurize right there. In removing the valve, I'm able to get this clamp around here on the two flats. We can see just like that, and that will allow me to have the grip I need to twist. There we go. Align these two notches right here in the unlock position, and there's a little back and forth work as there's a rubber seal. And with that, the whole unit is removed in one piece, no problems whatsoever. There is a seal kit for the top end. We could see the outer seal here and the inner seal here. This being a complete component and it leaking from up top here, I have a very good feeling I'm going to have to replace this whole unit. We're going to find out. And this is the one that I had purchased, and I purchased it with Amazon Prime. It cost me $76.48 and arrived in a couple of days. Might as well do an unboxing, so let's get underway. This came from Hayward. This is not a knockoff. So we have an O-ring, right? The instructions, we'll go through these in a little bit. Packaging material, and obviously the unit itself. Cool, that's it, that covers it. The inner O-ring came pre-installed on the unit. That stated you don't need an O-ring kit if you order this, and there was mention made in some of the advertisements on Amazon that if you're ordering this you need an O-ring kit, and I'm here to tell you that the one that I got, you do not. There it is. Comparatively, it does have a slightly smaller profile than the older one, right? We can see here, and also the valve that's used as a pressure relief, I guess it's a better design in so much as it can't be unscrewed and fall out of the unit and get lost like this one can. So that's a plus. Also, another thing I notice about the new valve is when you open it, right, the valve, it sprays in the direction you're not standing in, where this one, as you turn it, the pressure just kind of turns where you're unscrewing it because the relief is right here. So I guess this is an improvement. See, this is kind of cool. They have some gauges here that they set up where you can, having established what the pressure is when you've serviced the DE container, the low pressure and the high pressure for the point where you'd want to backwash or reservice the container again. So that's pretty cool. So you could keep the actual pressure within those parameters given the RPM of your pump. Yeah, that's pretty slick. I like that. I've also picked up a tube of multi-lube, and it's not because I don't have it. I do. It's just that I can't find it. And I know that if I order a small tube on Amazon, within 24 hours, the one that I lost will magically appear. I know that everybody can relate to this. So here's my second smaller tube of this. And once again, the first thing I'm going to do before I start working is shut down the pump. Even though I'm not working on the pump, because that is a smart thing to do. So shut down the pump. And then I will be removing this old seal. It's not in there tight, but just to get under it, I just put the screwdriver, and there it's gone. As this area is not going to be opened again for a good long time, it is a good idea to give this a good detail. Clean this out so there is no debris in here. I'm doing this as a demonstration because I'm on the camera. Obviously, I'm going to clean this better as soon as I stop recording. This is just me demonstrating cleaning an area with a piece of paper towel. When the outer portion is finished, remember that there's also a seal inside here. The inside has to be cleaned as well, very clean. Where I'm demonstrating cleaning this area. All around. Now everything is nice and clean. We're ready to work on the seals that are on the new unit. Now I'm going to apply the lubricant to both this O-ring and this O-ring. And probably just a little bit right there to where the two plastic surfaces meet when it locks in, just to make it easier to turn. But I mean just a hair thin amount. So there we go. I've applied it generously, but not overbearing and disgusting. You know, it's covered on all of the area of the O-ring. Nothing crazy, not the whole bottle. This one as well, in the very same manner. And like I said, just a little tiny bit right there at the bottom of the tracks. Tiny bit. Just a hair on both sides. And that's sufficient. Get the water out of here because it's raining today. Drop the new seal in. Just like that. It just kind of sits there, that's fine. And here's the new unit. We could see where the notches are, as well as these detents right here and those detents down there, right? Depending on which way I start to screw this in, is how it's going to lock in the final position. That is to say, if I start screwing it in like this, right, and turn it, it's going to lock that way. And that's actually what I'm going for. That way I could see it from the deck, right? So this will be lowered into place in this manner, just like so. That the two tabs line up in the unlocked position, right? Everything should be clean and everything's lubricated, right? So I'm able to turn it by hand, right? I don't want to grab any of these parts. I don't want to grab stuff like that and break it, right? So I'm grabbing down here at the base, right? And for the last bit, I'll admit that I'll need two hands to grab this. I can't do it with the camera. Two hands, it locked into position, and it's finished. Everything is done. I take a look around here. It's nice and clean. And here's how it looks from afar. If I wanted to change the angle of the gauge, obviously, when the canister was open, I could just rotate the canister, right? Seems okay, though. It's a little bit off from the old one, but yeah, that's fine. I'm going to set my valve back to filtration. Just like that. Apply power to the pump. The priming will begin. Purging the air. You can watch the pressure starting to rise. A lot of air as the tank was empty, pretty much. A good portion was empty anyway. We're still on prime, so I don't know what we're looking at yet. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is set for really low right now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to raise that. But I like to wait a second and then I'll... There we go, just a little bit more. Kick up the speed a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Everything seems to be working fine. And that's it. That's the whole manual relief assembly for the Hayward PRO-GRID D.E filter replaced on the cheap. Really easy. Anybody could do it. I hope you found this useful and enjoyable. Thanks for watching.